Welcome to BBC London with me, Asad Ahmad. Coming up on the programme, even the Met Police says it won't fill their funding shortfall. Also on the programme, good evening. When it comes to quality of life in London, a lot depends on how easy it is to get around on public transport, where we live, and how safe we feel on our streets. It's why the amount being spent on policing is to go up by £100 million. It's been announced in the Mayor's annual budget. However, the Metropolitan Police says it still faces a funding gap. Our political editor Carl Mercer has been looking at the figures. OK, look now at some stories available on the BBC News app. In Kent, 2 women who were fined after donating to charity have had their fixed penalty notices dropped by Tunbridge and Malling Borough Council. In Hertfordshire, police in St Albans were left scratching their heads over a chicken coop left overnight in the middle of the road. There was no sighting of chickens crossing the road. And does this Berkshire town hold the secret to a long life? The BBC has been speaking to the residents of Wokingham, which has the highest life expectancy in England. All that and more available on the BBC News app. But now, London Fashion Week has begun, attracting the world's biggest designers, buyers and a clutch of famous faces. Even the King didn't want to miss out. He popped over to the Strand to catch Londoner Tolu Cocker's show. Over 5 days, £100 million of deals will be done, and London gets to keep its place as a global centre of fashion. Let's cross now to Lakshmi, who's on the Strand outside one of the shows tonight. Lakshmi.
Yes, Asad, even on a day like today with other things on his mind, the King has attended London Fashion Week as it opened today, and it is a really significant part of the global fashion calendar. And you might think, I mean, I'm no fashionista, you might think you're not connected with the high fashion world, but it is intertwined with the high street clothes that we wear, as I've been finding out. London Fashion Week, showcasing London's status as a global fashion capital and a hub for high street fashion. The brand H&M first opened in the capital 50 years ago.
London is really significant. I think you have the best design schools here. You have the most creative designers. Fashion Week in London is really interesting.
Suited and booted.
And London's not just home to fashion retailers, but often an inspiration too.
We see what's going on in music and in movies, exhibitions. You have the Marie Antoinette exhibition going on in London right now. You know that will have an impact on fashion.
High street brands also look to smaller, independent designers. That can give London the edge, according to this family-run design house, which has just launched a collection with the chain River Island.
In London, they're used to using a lot of artists, independent brands that really relate and keep London really fun and cool and iconic.
Fashion should be accessible. It's a main focus as well today with the world and the situation. And this collaboration is magical because it opens up such a big audience, and we're able to translate, you know, the one-of-a-kind that we're used to a much bigger platform.
So, how do you translate clothes from runway to retail? ASOS has 2,500 people in its Camden head office to do just that.
Sometimes when you look at it on the shows, it might feel quite scary and not for you, but actually that's where we come into play. So I don't know, if you see something with a super long train on a catwalk show, you obviously can't wear that on your daily commute on the tube. You might get trapped in the doors. So it's our job to make that accessible for everybody.
Designs, photo shoots and embellishments take place at the ASOS site. But the runway to retail timeline isn't quite what you might think.
We're working probably 6-7 months ahead. So actually we've decided a lot of the trends already. So we kind of use the catwalks as confirmation. So say something like 80s we're really feeling for at the moment. So I would expect to see 80s come through at London Fashion Week.
From haute couture to high street, hoping to ensure anyone can be in fashion. Lakshmi Gopal, BBC London.
Yeah, there's always a real buzz in London when it's London Fashion Week. Great to see. Now look at the weather forecaster, and here's Kate. Still a bit chilly, isn't it?
It is quite chilly today, but I've got good news. We have something a little bit milder just in time for the weekend. Now, unlike London Fashion Week, I have to search for little glimpses of colour. So anywhere at the moment, because we've had all these grey skies and all this rain. Now, today, it has been a little bit drier. 1 or 2 spots of light rain and drizzle, but that's been about it. We have, however, hung on to the cloud. Very limited in the way of sunshine, and water levels, of course, are still very high along the river, so still saturated ground. Now, I was talking about that milder air. It's not quite with us. Today, we got up to around 6 Celsius across London. As we head through the weekend, temperatures are going to rocket right the way up into the mid-teens. Now, this is this evening. We've got a few breaks in the cloud, and that's going to allow the temperature to drop right down, very close to 0. We'll then see the cloud moving in through the early hours into Friday morning. The wind starts to pick up a little again. Temperatures above 0, but still chilly, 2 or 3 Celsius. So a cool start tomorrow morning, an overcast start, albeit for 1 or 2 breaks in the cloud, as you can see there. But tomorrow, the wind starts to come from the southwest. It brings this front towards us, a band of quite heavy rain, blustery showers to follow. By the end of Friday, a little bit of brightness potentially, but look at the temperatures. 11 Celsius today. I said we've got 5, 6 Celsius across London. Tomorrow, it is going to feel much milder. Now, we've still got some outbreaks of rain, another heavy burst heading through in the evening. But behind that, we'll get a dry spell, some clearer spells, but then more rain. Other fronts are going to start to move in. We're hanging on to that southwesterly breeze. We are also hanging on to the mild air. So this is a nighttime temperature as we head into the weekend. 7, 8 Celsius. That is warmer than the temperature we got during today. Now, Saturday itself, all this yellow, all this orange is the mild air. It stays with us. Isobars become a little bit closer together, so the wind picks up. We've still got fronts moving through, spells of rain, but we should get a little bit of sunshine, especially on Saturday, and temperatures potentially could reach 15 Celsius, Asad.
Hurrah! And a little bit of sunshine as well. Well, what's not to like? Thanks very much, Kate. Now, before we go, a reminder of the day's main news story. Police have arrested Andrew Mountbatten Windsor on suspicion of misconduct in public office. The former prince is alleged to have shared confidential information with the sex offender Jeffrey Epstein when he was a UK trade envoy. The former prince, who's 66 today, has previously denied wrongdoing in relation to Epstein. And that's it for now. Alice will be here at 10:30 with our late news on BBC One and the iPlayer. I'll be back at the same time tomorrow. With it being such a big news day today for obvious reasons, keep across developments on radio, BBC Online and our social media platforms. For now, from us all, bye-bye.